Let's talk about visual diagnosis, topography of the tongue. The tongue, as with many other parts of the body, reflects the condition of the various internal organs. This is seen in both the tongue's general appearance and changes in specific areas of the tongue. There are three basic models that depict that the various areas of the tongue represent. The models are not intrinsically contradictory, but support and supplement each other. In the first model, the tongue is divided into three zones. Each zone represents one of the three jiao. The upper jiao can be seen in the front third of the tongue, the posterior third of the tongue is the lower jiao, and in between them is the middle jiao, as you can see here in this picture. In the second model, the front and the sides of the tongue are the areas that will manifest changes if there is an invasion of pathogenic qi in the exterior. The areas that are inside of and behind these areas will reflect the body's interior. These areas will manifest changes if exogenous pathogenic qi penetrates into the interior. As you can see in the picture, these are the areas of the tongue that reflect how deep an invasion of exogenous pathogenic qi has penetrated into the body. In the third model, the imbalances in the various Zangfu organs manifest in specific areas of the tongue. It is important to remember that this model reflects an organ's physical location in the body and not its energetic or functional location. This means that the liver, which physiologically belongs in the lower jiao, is to be found in the middle jiao area of the tongue, something that is also seen in its pulse position. This is in accordance with its anatomical location in the body. Some sources place the liver on the left side of the tongue and the gallbladder on the right side. Other sources assign both sides of the tongue to the liver and gallbladder jointly. I personally utilize the latter in practice, as imbalances in the gallbladder channel are usually caused by liver imbalances, and therefore both organs are involved and will be reflected on the tongue. Likewise, the very center of the tongue is often assigned to the stomach and the area around it to the spleen. But the whole central area can also be seen as being representative of the stomach and spleen. Similarly, some sources divide the root of the tongue into four zones: kidneys, urinary bladder, small intestine, and large intestine, whilst other sources define the whole area as corresponding to all four organs at the same time. Again, mostly utilize the latter interpretation. In clinical practice, you must compare the tongue with the rest of the symptoms and signs. This will help to define which of these organs is manifesting on the root of the tongue. The kidneys only have deficiency patterns of imbalance. Conversely, the other three organs on the root tend towards excess patterns of imbalance. This means that if the root of the tongue, for example, has a greasy yellow coating with raised papillae, it indicates that there's damp heat present in the lower jiao. The kidneys do not have a pattern of damp heat. Therefore, it must be one of the other three organs that are manifesting damp heat. If the person has a burning sensation when urinating, this will confirm that it is the urinary bladder and not the intestines that is affected by damp heat. On the other hand, if the person has diarrhea, the damp heat will not be in the urinary bladder, but in the intestines. If the root of the tongue is peeled and lacks coating, this indicates a yin deficiency condition. This will therefore be more indicative of a link to the kidneys rather than the intestines or urinary bladder. One must always remember that it is not only the Zangfu organs, but also the three jiao that can be seen on the tongue. For example, a general condition of the damp heat in the lower jiao could manifest on that area of the tongue. The tip of the tongue reflects the heart, and the area behind the tip reflects the lung. The center of the tongue manifests the stomach and spleen. The sides of the tongue reflects the condition of the liver and gallbladder, and the root, the lower jiao organs, kidney, urinary bladder, and the intestines. Thank you so much for your attention.